So this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and I'm here with Paddy, a constituent of mine who lives just outside Bromsgrove. And Paddy's been a fantastic advocate for mental health for some time. I've known you for about a year, Paddy, and I've been really grateful to you for getting in touch to shine a light on your own experiences, and so that we can talk during this critical week about the support that people require within society, whether it's from others, whether it's from the education system, healthcare system, in order to provide support when people need it. And the way I see this, everyone goes through ups and downs in life, but there are some really acute pressures, particularly on young people. You've got societal pressure from peers. The education system puts pressure particularly on young people to try and achieve certain grades in education in order for them to follow whatever their desired path in his life. And then we've got, on top of that, social media and pressure that comes from instantaneous communication. You have peer pressure on Instagram. There's the really toxic side of social media as well, where people can really be quite nasty and hide behind the veil of anonymity. And I know from my inbox and from friends and family and people I come across that this particularly affects young people, and as a society we've got to do more to provide genuine support to those whose mental health does dip from time to time and who can struggle with the day-to-day. Tell me, Paddy, about your own experiences and what kind of support you think we need to be providing to young people, and how we can gently move the needle, perhaps through some small actions that we can all take.
Yeah, I think I'm really grateful for you speaking to me and for the support throughout the year. I've got OCD and I've struggled with my anxiety and depression since I was 13, and it kind of got me to a very low point in COVID, so a point where I didn't want to live anymore. I gave up, and I managed to pull myself out through counselling, and I'm now on medication, and I'm doing much better. But that experience opened my eyes to what so many people are going through, and kind of I was very lucky that I managed to get support, but there's so many people out there, so many young people, hundreds of thousands of young people are waiting over a year for support. And as you say, I think one thing we can all do is view mental health in a very similar way to physical health, in that we've all got mental health. We all go through ups and downs, like mental poor health and good mental health, but we've got to view mental illness in the same way as physical illness. If you're waiting a year after you broke your arm, then you wouldn't expect that arm to ever be the same again. So I think if we viewed mental health the same way, and I think as a society we're not outraged by it because we don't think of it like that. I'm not sure people are aware of how long young people are waiting and the pressures on young people. It's very easy for people to brush it under the carpet. I think a lot of people saying overdiagnosis and these kind of things, and it's important to kind of look into the issue and to realise that a lot of young people are really struggling, and it's not about being more sensitive, it's about these extra pressures. Young people have gone through COVID, young people have gone through social media, which is, as you say, is vicious. Young people's loneliness is on the rise, so these type of things. So I think as a society, we kind of need to look at this issue and kind of discuss it more openly. We can all be more open about our mental health. Just having one conversation with one person can change your life. One conversation with a person asking how are you, and asking how are you again afterwards, can make such a big difference, because everybody's got a stock response to how are you. But if you ask it again, it's much more thought-provoking, and not being scared of the conversation. So it's much better to say something. You can't say the wrong thing. If you're scared to say the wrong thing, just say something, because having a conversation about mental health or having a conversation about suicide, it opens that conversation up, and people are often looking for that one glimmer of hope in their life to kind of hang on to, and you could be that person. So I think if there's one thing you can do, is just open those conversations up, and really being open and often being vulnerable yourself about your own mental health can be really important.
I think you raised some great points, Paddy, particularly about how in plain sight this is, that it's everywhere and it surrounds us. Even if people don't realise it, you can walk through, you can walk down Bromsgrove High Street or anywhere in the country, and whoever we walk by, we don't understand or know exactly what they're going through in life and what's affecting them. You talked about your own struggles, particularly with OCD, and particularly coming out of COVID. What was the kind of support that you found was available, and What kind of support from your own experience do you think we are really lacking that society could provide? And maybe you could tell us a little bit as well about the hub down in Bromsgrove, because I've visited you there and I know that you're volunteering there to support young people as they not just sort of, find activities to do when they're not at school and things like that, but I know that the hub is helping young people who've got mental health struggles too.
Yeah, so when I kind of came out of COVID, when I was really struggling, I managed to have a counsellor. My parents paid for me to have a counsellor, and I can say that without that counsellor, I wouldn't be here now. That counsellor saved my life, and I still speak to my counsellor today. And that's why I feel lucky and so passionate about it, because I know that I'm in a very fortunate position, and I know I could have been somebody who went down a very different path. And yeah, without that, so I think that was really important for me. But I think as a lot of the systems are lacking kind of an awareness, and they're not fit for purpose when it comes to mental health. I think the education system has a long way to go in terms of getting support and supporting young people. I think, as you said earlier, the focus kind of on exams and away from kind of vocational education and kind of a move away from apprenticeships is also harming young people's mental health. So I think we need to look at all the systems, kind of an overall view of it, and see what we can do. And one thing I'm really keen to campaign on is the early intervention support hub. So it's a kind of a model that's been trialled in Australia. My dream is to have a hub for every young person where you can go self-referral and go and talk to a mental health professional without any criteria, any kind of any waiting time. You can just go in and speak to a mental health professional. I think that would really, you'd see such a positive impact on the issue that a lot of young people have is they go and try and get support, and they're either not ill enough or too ill, which is a really dangerous position to be in, because some people are waiting till they get more ill, and then they get too ill. Whereas if we can catch these issues upstream, if we can get the early intervention, the amount of kind of heartache and the pain and the money that we save down the line. So we're currently campaigning at the hub to turn it. It's an incredible environment, incredible facility for young people to go in, and really, like, just spending an hour there, it gives you a total different perspective on young people. I think I was in there the other day, and two young people, I think 15 and 16, were just playing in boxes for the whole hour I was there, and it's a very different narrative to what's seen as young people on phones and that kind of thing. But what we're trying to do is health support hub that's open from 9 till 9, so any young person in Bromsgrove could just walk in and see somebody straight away, or they could have regular sessions if they need it. And that wouldn't just be to sit in a room and speak to a counsellor with like a fake plant. That's one thing we're really keen to avoid. There's a dartboard, there's pool, so if a young person wasn't comfortable in that position, they'd be able to come in and really choose to do something that they want to do, and that will be, it's much more empowering environment for young people to open up in.
That's fantastic. I mean, I'm really grateful to you, Paddy, for opening up about your own struggles, but also telling me a bit more about the hub. I've been down there and seen the hub myself a few weeks ago, and it is a fantastic place. And the main takeaway, as Paddy has expressed, is that so many people struggle with their mental health. It exists in plain sight, and prevention is always better than cure. Paddy's been through a struggle. A lot of people go through a struggle. This Mental Health Week, let's all think about the role that we can all play in wider society, so that people are able to enjoy life, they're able to get the support that they need, and more importantly, that they feel empowered. And particularly for young people in Bromsgrove, check out the hub. There's a link in the post below. It really is a genuine place for you to go in an environment where there's no stigma, and feel the freedom and space to talk about whatever's on your mind, and generally just have a very good time.